Fantasy Philosophers is brought to you by fantasy-info.com.
At least the Raiders got rid of one of the parts of the three-headed monster they've had in the running game for the last 3 seasons, as Justin Fargas is down the road. Fargas was a decent little player, but really I think he was getting in the way as much as definitely last season, as really all 3 of these guys in Michael Bush, Darren McFadden, and Fargas, they all couldn't get, more than maybe 130 carries in a season. They were all somewhere between 110 to 130. And that's just not enough touches in the ground game to be an effective player for anyone to be effective because, you need timing with the offensive linemen to really get into a flow. And with that amount of touches in a season, you're just not going to get it. If there was one guy that did show a good flow when he was in there with the limited touches that he had, and that was Michael Bush, as he had I believe it was over 4.5 yards per carry. Very good. He showed explosion at times when he gets in the open field. You wouldn't think maybe for a guy with his body structure he would have that kind of speed in the open field, but he does. He can finish those type of runs for touchdowns at times. And right now in the offseason, it looks like he is the favorite to be the early downs back on this team. It only makes sense that he probably should. He's had more productive success on the ground than Darren McFadden. McFadden had, 3.4 yards per carry last year. He's got to step that up big time. The team has gotten Robert Gallery back. He's a key left guard, but really his health concerns are high, and we just don't know if he's going to be able to last for a full season, but they've got him out back right now. He's feeling pretty good, so that's a great sign for the running game, as they're going to need him in that position to really have some strong effectiveness on the ground. Right now, Tom Cable has backed off of his stance of saying, I want to feature back. He's saying that, I think I like Darren McFadden and I like Bush, and we were lucky to have 2 number 1 type guys. Well, if you have 2 number 1 guys, you have no number 1 guys, because they can't be a number 1 if they're both running the ball in a split running, system. They're a running back by committee. I think the team's it's gonna shake out more like this. I think you're gonna see Mike Bush as the starter. You're gonna see Darren McFadden getting a decent amount of reps and touches early in the season. But if Darren should be ineffective at times, and especially running the football, as the season draws deeper and deeper, you're going to start seeing Michael take on the feature type role in this offense when it comes to running the football. And so that's what I probably would expect this thing to happen. Darren's got a lot to prove, and Michael, he's proved what he can do. It's just a matter of now getting the consistency down as far as getting enough touches every week to make a difference for fantasy owners. So in my book, I've got Michael Bush as the better running back for you to go out and get. At this time, I think he's fringing on a flex play option. I know they play the Titans the first week, so I would veer away from starting him that week. But I definitely get him into your lineup as soon as week 2 when they play the Rams. That's a game you want to take advantage of as long as he's the starter. Take advantage of that game even if they are in a split set, because he'll get production for you. But let's see what he does that first week. Let's see what the Raiders do that first week. I'm very intrigued by the Raiders overall. They've made a lot of improvements to this team, and that should definitely help the running game. This is a good time to jump on a guy like Mike Bush at a good value, and he should help you out through the season.
For more fantasy football information, go to fantasy-info.com and sign up for our free e-newsletter. Good luck in your 2010 Fantasy Football League. As an added bonus, the Fantasy Info guys will include their 5 secret tips for success in fantasy football.